everybody, and welcome to a new YouTube video. Let's get this started. Alright everybody, here we are. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have watched this channel since like a long time ago remember these. This is a 2000 Toyota Celica GTS. I've been in the market looking for one for a while, but I just couldn't find anything that was actually worth my money and time. Especially now, I mean, these cars are like, this is 24 years old now, and yeah, at the time when I was in high school, I had one from 2015. Oh, I'm sorry, I had one since like 2014. I had it until 2014 till about 2017 when I sold it, and around 2018 was when I got into drifting. So I sold this car, or at least my original one. My original one actually died in a fire. I found out the Carfax the other day. But this one is I guess the replacement for it. I just, ever since I lost, or I had to sell this car in order to fund like my drifting thing that I wanted to try out, it's just this car always lived in the back of my head of just like how good it sounded, the 2ZZ with the turbo kit and just hitting lift. Oh man, yeah, this car has a really special place in my heart. So basically going to go over what we have here. This isn't going to be a project car to start with. I am working on getting like a location so I can start working on my cars again, because I do miss doing that. And I guess we'll go over what my old one had versus what this one has and what it doesn't. So let's get started. Alright, so immediately right off the bat, this one is not a turbo Celica, but that is my plan for it in the future. I do eventually want to do a turbo 2ZZ again. This one basically started out as the one I had in high school. It was stock. It has an Apex exhaust on it, a stock 2ZZ. My old one was a turbo one. It's missing some of the accessories you need to have a turbo, obviously. But this one, like in high school, has a cooled air intake. It's the longer one where it goes down into the lower part of the car. Other than that, it has some preventive maintenance done to it. It has an exhaust system, still has the stock headers. So nothing too crazy. I mean, for a daily driver, this thing is pretty sorted out. On the exterior, it has I think it's been repainted or something at some point. This hood is new because obviously it's white or silver, and it was resprayed to match the rest of the kit. This is not the authentic TRD kit. This is a later model front bumper. The kit is a TRD rep, as in you can just buy these lips and stuff off Amazon and just stick them on there. That's okay. Yeah, so basically this was like how I wanted my Celica to look, my stock one, back in high school. This is how I wanted it to look. I just didn't have the money to make it look like this. So I just stuck with performance stuff that was cheap and easy in high school, and then in college, I ended up turboing it. But that's neither here nor there. This has aftermarket headlights, which I'm a big fan of this look. It has aftermarket tail lights, and we'll go to the rear. It's currently on the stock wheels, which isn't really a big deal. I'll probably get some adapters and put my MB Battles on here. Here's the Apex exhaust. That was a big thing to have back then. Mine had it was stock exhaust until I turboed it. I did all my performance stuff basically when I turboed it. Stock GTS wheels, so nothing special there. And here's the bottom piece of the lip that makes it look like the TRD one. I know they added the TRD spoiler, but yeah, I was a big fan of the TRD kits, as you can see. It just makes the car look way more aggressive and sporty. And then we'll jump into the interior here because it is freezing outside. My hands have gone numb. But yeah, like I said, the plan is to eventually turbo this one again. It has a little bit of an oil leak. That's from the front cover. It's pretty common. I'm gonna get that fixed up. I'm just gonna enjoy daily driving it for a while. Once I have my own place and all this other stuff, I'll be able to work on this car again and do all the stuff that I wanted to do to mine. Basically where I left off in the video right before I sold it. My old one, I was going to put on a standalone. I was gonna make the just a turbo kit a bit nicer to deal with. But yeah, I guess let's go inside and we'll see how well it's aged after 24 years. All right, now that we're inside the car now, it's much warmer, and also I can talk without having to use my little or external mic. So, yeah, this is the GTS model. It has the 9,000 RPM with 160 miles per hour. The only thing was this was a auto to manual swap, but from what I saw, they did the conversion pretty well. Probably no better than what I could do. Yeah, 6 speed manual. I just gotten so used to all the other cars that have 5 speed, like my S14 and JZX. But I mean, the interior of this car is in pretty good shape. It has the leather interior, gray seats, the sunroof model. I think all of them came with sunroofs, so you can't really avoid that. I forgot how big of a trunk space you have in this car. You fold down the seats, and it's essentially a mini truck. It is a hatchback. That's the rear view with the wing. That took me a minute to get used to because mine had the little spoiler on it. I probably will replace the shift knob with something a bit better. This one's a little bit worn down, but as expected. But I just forgotten how fun it is to drive this car. We're gonna take it for a test drive now, so I'm gonna put you guys on the GoPro mount, and we're gonna go ahead and head home. If you guys are liking the video so far, make sure to leave a like. Yeah, just one of those like childhood revive moments. I thought I would never own a Celica again, but after I'd sold it, I did regret getting rid of it, but I wanted to get into drifting really bad, so it's just one of those necessary evils. But now I'm in a point of my life where like I can relive some of that. It makes all the same noise and squeaks and creaks as my old one. Obviously it's a Celica, but just like the shifter down, going between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, there's this little tiny squeak, and my old one used to do the same thing. What else? Just some rattles and stuff like that I was able to diagnose my old one, and I know where they're coming from. This car is on coilover, so that's pretty cool. That does make it pretty nice. That's something my old one didn't have, so it feels really good to drive. What else? I'll probably hit lift a couple times on the way back home, just so you guys can hear it. The lift is way louder than what I remember it being. I don't remember the lift being as aggressive as this one is. This one surprised me the first time I hit it. So let me iterate that. These are not fast cars by any stretch of the imagination. These are very they're very tame under the 6,000 RPM. Once you get to 6,000 RPM and you hit the lift point, it can get pretty cool. But these cars are not fast. These cars are not fast. They're definitely faster than your typical Honda Civic EX. I just want a very pleasurable car to drive almost any day and every day. And the Celica was the only one that just kept popping up in my memories, and it was in the back of my head this whole time. I really missed this car. The previous owner, it was a female-driven previous owner. She had done most of the mods to it. Her and her boyfriend ended up doing the manual swap, which was this was the only one I could actually find that was like decent Celica in good condition, and for the price, it was kind of hard to say no. Do I feel like I overpaid? Maybe a little bit, especially just like what I knew I sold mine for, and then what these are worth now. Obviously, I mean, there's no way to tell the future, but it was, yeah. Who knows if I could have kept my Celica for as long as I did without having the ability to drift. So we're gonna hit lift real quick before we head home. Oh, I love that noise. I love that noise. It's so hard to find a car that can just have that like spirit in it. I currently daily drive a Honda Civic EX, the non-SI version, and it's just like, oh man, like it's a good car to get you from point A to point B, but man, it's nothing cool. It's nothing special to brag home about. It's just a good point A to point B car, and I was just like, I don't drive every day anymore because I work from home, and every time I want to get in a car, I want to be able to drive it. I know everyone's probably like, oh, but you have the JZX, why can't you just drive the JZX? It's expensive to drive the JZX, every time I drive it, especially just around town or something like that, if something were to happen to it, it'll be down for a while. However, with the Celica, it's the opposite. It's supposed to be a fun daily driver. Who knows what the future will hold in terms of like mods and supporting stuff for this car. I do plan on keeping it stock for as long as I humanly can. As in, like, before we go down the hole of before we go down the rabbit hole of turboing and changing the computer and basically trying to get it back to how my old one was performance-wise, as that could take some time. But everything else, oh, it feels so solid. The shifter feels like a road car shifter. My other one in the Honda is pretty floppy and just feels like it's okay. But this one, it feels very gatey, and I love that feeling. You actually have to shift a little bit, like put some muscle into it. Oh, and then also you can heel toe very easily in this car because the pedals are set up for heel towing. So going on a spirited drive or something like that with your friends, it's very easy to do it in this car. I have a friend that has an S2000, and that car, I love it. It's the for him, that's his daily driver, and for him, he likes taking that car up to mountains and just cruising in it. That is essentially what I want the Celica to be for me. I don't really care too much about rear-wheel drive or anything like that. I have the Celica, I have the JCX and I have the S14 that fulfill those needs. But if I ever just want to go like on a road trip with them, just to like the Blue Ridge Parkway or something like that, I can just get in this car and go. Here we go. That was 60 miles an hour. Like I said, it's not fast, but the smiles per just commute that you get, oh. But yeah, I'm just super happy to be back in a Celica as a daily driver. We will do some mods here and there, but I mean, this car isn't really going to be on the channel often. I just want to make a video showing everybody that I got my high school car back, although it's not the original one. Like I said, the original one died in a fire. Like, I looked up the Carfax and it said something like fire damage. So something happened to that car where it caught on fire and it's gone. It's gone. I don't know where it is or anything like that. So RIP to that one. We can pour one out, but this one is the successor to it, and I hope to keep this one for hopefully as long as I did that one. And now I have so much more experience after working on the JZX and the S14 that I know what exactly I want from this car. I just want a good 275 horsepower to the wheels, and it just be the ultimate just daily driver. Like yeah, that's what I wanted. The other Celica, my original one, I had crazy plans for it to be like a drag car, but then that's when I discovered drifting, and I realized, wow, like all the money I'm about to dump into the Celica to make it cool, I could just make a drift car. So that's how I pivoted from the Celica to drifting, and now we're back. So it's super cool to go back to, I guess, my roots, because this is the car that taught me, that at least gave me the confidence that whenever I mess with a car, I can put it back together and it'll be reliable. Because the turbo kit, I had it on there for like a year. I drove it about 10,000 miles and it never left me stranded. Anything like that. Nothing like that. Nothing leaked. I never had to deal with any major problems with it. It was pretty stout and reliable, and that was the first car I ever messed with. And unfortunately, a lot of these cars suffer from that fate of them being the first cars for a lot of people, or at least the first tuner car for a lot of people. So a lot of people don't do things right. Yeah, overall, super happy with the car, happy with the purchase. Right now we're just heading home. But yeah, so hopefully there's still some OGs to my YouTube channel. Some of those videos are like 6-7 years old at this point, but hopefully I can revamp some of the Celica love in this on this channel. Like I said, it was one of those cars that has been haunting me, just in my dreams. Just the sound, the noise, how it felt driving. It was just super hard to get rid of. It was a big moment when I got rid of it. I was very like, oh man, like was this the right move to do when I got rid of it? But now in hindsight, it was the right move. But you just have to make the tough calls sometimes. But but now it feels nice going backwards, and being able to appreciate it as an adult now, where now I have way more driving experience under my belt. I know what a car's supposed to feel like. I know how I like to drive. I know how I want to set up a car. I know more about suspension tuning and all this other stuff now. And also, like, if I need to do a maintenance thing, it's not that scary of a job now. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.